The first annual WWE Cruiserweight Classic has its winner, and the new division has a new championship title with its first owner. We're going to break it all down right now on AFTERBUZZ TV CWC Bracket Breakdown.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Mamma mia! What a finals that we got at the CWC last night, live on the WWE Network. Thank you for joining us for this bracket breakdown exclusively on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm one of your hosts, the internet's Mark B. Donica, joined as always by our swag boys. We have the entire team with us, listening to this great theme.
The team and the theme.
The team theme is swag. And joining us, of course, Mr. Bill Hanstock.
Hello.
Doing
Hi,
his
everybody.
best.
I'm Bill Hanstock. You can follow me on Twitter at Sundown Motel. Next to me is the one and only Ty Matthews.
The one
Billy Gunn.
The one and only was one of my favorite finishers of the
one and
early
only.
2000s. Guys, as always, you can find me on social media at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as various other after shows, including Lucha Underground, immediately after this one with this handsome boy.
What's happening?
Look at these swag boys we got here.
So much swag. Too many boys.
Not enough boys.
Just pile them on.
Just pile on the boys. So before we get deep into
The boys.
Sure.
let's talk about our overall impressions of the episode tonight.
Good. I mean, it was a fine... Given how the bracket has all fallen down and how everything ended up, I mean, really the best ending we could have hoped for, I think.
Sure. And just the collection of matches that we got consistently was one of the best all-around episodes of wrestling that you could hope for. Yeah.
Especially with the tag match thrown in there.
Exactly.
Good placement for it. Did you guys want another bonus match, another showcase match? Or was
No, I think-
everything fine?
No, I think that was perfect.
That was great, because, like, the two semifinals matches were probably longer than I expected them to be, and then the finals was like a half hour. And then, you know, you had a couple extra bonus matches and some video packages and some Triple H announcements and interviews. And
some Triple H.
it was all, I mean, it felt like it flowed really well, and it didn't really feel like 2 hours. So,
Right.
Yeah, I think anything more would have been kind of overkill.
Considering the fact that Backlash was 2.5 hours, it's crazy how...
And this was 4 matches.
Right, exactly.
And it went 2.
Backlash was 5.
Shut up. They don't want you to think about that kind of
Now,
stuff.
by the way, Backlash, like, if that's the trend with the new brand split of, like, just having, like, 5 or 6, like, awesome matches where everyone can go, like, 20 minutes, like, count me in.
I'm
super down.
Yeah. And you can watch our Backlash after show. It is up now on AfterBuzz TV. Go check it out. Leave it open, but watch us live, because we love you. We care about you. We're going to touch on this match because it came out like the morning of the CWC, and so it kind of got lost in the shuffle. We saw a bonus tag team match exclusively on the WWE Network and YouTube page. It was between the Bollywood Boys and Sean Maluta and Arya Daivari. We're gonna take a look at that real quick. But if anything, I'm just happy that the Bollywood Boys got a chance to show themselves as a tag team as opposed to singles competitors, which everybody thought was weird.
Exactly. With a field as big as 32 people, it's inevitable that people are going to get lost in the shuffle. So that's where I think a lot of these really came in handy. We get to see, you know, the teamwork aspect, obviously the charisma of the Bollywood Boys. And it does seem like kind of the 4 of these guys in particular kind of not only got overshadowed by the people that they were working, but I think that they might have been saddled with people that they didn't necessarily have great chemistry with.
Sure. And especially with the Sierra guys, this showed their personality. They got a chance to dance. They made Daivari dance, which is pretty entertaining. And they won with the double elbow drop, 1 elbow drop on the standing and 1 elbow drop on the downed Sean Maluta. Fun bonus match. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Let's get into the actual show, the finale of the Cruiserweight Classic, with our first match of the night being Grand Metalik versus Zack Sabre Jr. Oh my God.
So awesome. Such a great way to open the final episode, and really showed what both guys can do, and such a brilliant thing to have Grand Metalik just come right out of the gate, just like, I know what Zack Sabre's capable of, so I gotta hit huge things right away to try and take him out, try and keep him off balance, because if I can allow him to bring the match down to the mat and make it methodical, it's going to get out of my hands. So he had to do everything he could to go like balls to the wall and just try and keep Zack Sabre off balance. And Zack Sabre was doing everything he could to ground Grand Metalik.
Exactly.
and it was just they meshed really well together, and it was a great match. It told a great story. Easily the best Zack Sabre Jr. match of the tournament.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
But just so good. Like, and it shows you what Sabre's capable of working with an opponent who can tell a really good story with them.
And not only that, but the fact that Grand Metalik was able to hang with Zack Sabre Jr. in terms of striking as well.
And
Yes.
not just striking too, but going for all the octopus holds and everything. Like this sort of really showed that Grand Metalik is not just a flyer; he's an amazing all-around wrestler.
Right, and it's kind of like, it speaks to what William Regal was saying, as we saw later on in the episode, the fact that a great cruiserweight is kind of the most well-rounded wrestler on the show. You know, it's not, even if you are classified as a high flyer or as a technical expert, you have enough skill in all of those areas to really be able to adapt on the fly.
And I think we saw a lot of that in our final match. But I totally agree with you, Bill. This was the best showing that Zack Sabre Jr. had. And this made me think, okay, not only because of the worldwide praise and buzz surrounding Zack Sabre Jr., but this is why he's in these semifinals.
Right.
And we talked about it when we met on Monday, that one of these matches, or both of these matches, may not go as the world and the internet predicted. So seeing the crowd react to Grand Metalik hitting the Metalik driver and getting Sabre 1, 2, 3, explosion.
It's interesting because we sort of, like, a lot of people sort of expected the finals to be like Zack Sabre versus Kota Ibushi,
Right?
And we like almost got that, and then they subverted everything, you know. So
Right, exactly.
It's a bummer that so many people are. It's a bummer that so many people are, like, at least going into the finals and sort of coming out of the finals a little bit. We're like, well, this all, like, kind of boiled down to, like, politics on who signed and who didn't.
Right, exactly.
But I think that the finals the finale did go a long way to silencing some of those complaints, as far as, like, just showing the quality that everyone could turn out.
Agreed. I totally agree. And this told the story. We got the story of Grand Metalik wanting to be the greatest and representing Mexico on the grandest stage, as well as TJ Perkins coming from essentially nothing, a point where he was homeless and living his dream to make it to not just the semifinals but the finals. And I think that while yes, the business side of it going, oh well, of course it's going to be one of the people that signed, that while thinking of it, despite thinking of that, I think I agree.
Like I said,
the wrestling changed all that.
Yeah, they put together such a strong showing, everyone involved, that it really served to quiet, like, that potential disgruntlement of the fans.
It's a good way to put it.
Sure.
Moving on to our next match, the second match of the semifinals, TJ Perkins versus Kota Ibushi. Wow.
And
wow.
While we're talking about, like, them subverting expectations, they really hammered home that, like, especially in the finale, Kota Ibushi was the favorite to win.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like, and it's nice to have that sort of acknowledgement on wrestling television of, like, everyone expects this guy to win. Like, and it wasn't hammered home in such a way as to be like, well, now it's a foregone conclusion that Perkins is going to win. It was just sort of like an acknowledgement of the, because, you know, like, on Raw, if you see Roman Reigns go up against, like, you know, you saw Reigns versus Owens this past week, and the announcers would never say, like, well, everyone expects Reigns to win this match.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Even though that is pretty much what
That's the subtext.
Right. So it's nice to see stuff like that. It's been nice to see the talking points and the storylines that they've been doing in the Cruiserweight Classic, especially considering that it all began with a 32 person, like, just wrestling for wrestling's sake, and also the first round, like, everyone, like, every single match except for the last match being like, oh well, we know who's winning this match.
Right. And I love, one of the things that I love thematically that's been kind of one of the major through lines throughout the whole tournament is finishers staying consistent and finishers staying bulletproof. In a lot of tournaments that we've seen before, if one guy goes all the way, chances are he's going to win each of his matches with a different move that he typically wouldn't win with, you know, to take out some of the tomato cans early on. Right. In this tournament, you saw a lot of moves. You saw TJ Perkins' knee bar, Kota Ibushi's Golden Star Powerbomb, Grand Metalik's Metalik driver especially. You saw these kind of if they hit that, then it's done.
Right.
Which
basically.
especially made in this match Ibushi hitting the Golden Star Powerbomb and TJ getting out of it
Right.
so much more of a we're back in. That's right, we're watching a WWE match.
Right.
in a good way.
But exactly. It felt a little bit more genuine in this context than
Yes.
it does in your standard pay-per-view match where you see 3 or 4, something like that. All it needed was that one for him to kick out of, and you saw the reaction on all of the faces.
And Ibushi didn't go, well, I'll just do it again. It's
Right.
like, all right, what else do I have? I have a lot more.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I need to try and hit the Phoenix Splash.
Yeah.
Where do you think that this match stands against the other Ibushi matches?
A lot of people were calling this the match of the entire tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Alexander versus Ibushi was better, and I probably liked Ibushi versus Kendrick more. Although I forgot to bring it up last week, but apparently that match got screwed up and had to be edited for TV. The
Really?
Kendrick versus Ibushi match, like Ibushi accidentally got counted out, and they had to come up with an excuse to restart the match. But then they edited that portion out.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting.
Do you think that might have affected the way the crowd reacted to it?
Yeah. But like like Meltzer didn't give the match a star rating because it was edited for television, which is so dumb. But anyway,
Oh, is that the rules?
That explains that tweet.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think the people who didn't like the matches are going to complain about matches that didn't happen,
Right.
that weren't on TV? It's like,
right.
oh, okay. Talking
but
about
anyway,
the internet.
Yeah, but I think I think that Ibushi, like the Alexander Ibushi match, the Kendrick Ibushi match, this match, and then the Sabre versus Metalik match were like the best matches of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think that the Cedric one, in terms of all of the Ibushi ones, just as a whole, is so stellar. And
This is as good.
but
I think the Alexander match is better.
like to kind of put it in number, it's like versus Cedric was a 5, and Kendrick and TJ were like 4.9. You know, like they're right there, and they all tell a great story physically and emotionally. What did you think about the match, Ty?
I think right up there with Gargano and Ciampa, it was my favorite match of the tournament.
Yeah, that's so lame that we're forgetting about
Right.
I mean, still,
And I think that's also just because it happened to happen so early.
Yeah.
In
and the other
tournament.
matches had so much more at stake.
Right, exactly. But I just love the emotion in this. You know, both guys, one a complete underdog and one the heavily favored favorite. They both had so much on the line and so much going for it, and the crowd was so split. It seemed like.
yeah. And it seemed during this match where more people were starting to go a little bit towards TJ, but you heard at the top of the match it was like TJ Perkins,
Right.
Hey, Boucher! Like,
Right,
okay,
right.
all right, let's chill.
Yeah.
But I think it also helped Perkins a lot in these last 2 matches to stop screwing around and get serious. Like,
Oh sure, no doubt. Like they mentioned it on
dabbing,
commentary.
dancing.
Usually when he does this move, he dabs on him.
Right.
No, I think Brian said that.
And I think
No, it was more.
It was such a great moment when Ibushi first went for the Golden Triangle moonsault, and TJ just had it completely scouted, taken out the leg. Not only taking out the
him right in the
leg,
butt.
it was. I thought it was so perfect because he not only took out the leg, softening him up for the knee bar,
He landed on
but
his
the
head.
way he landed on his head and set up the neck. It was such a perfect moment of kind of dual psychology.
And one of my favorite moments in the match was Ibushi trying to beat the 10 count back in, and on 7 he gets up on the apron and falls off
Oh
again.
my god, absolutely. and like I mentioned on Monday, it was kind of the first time that we saw someone actually hoping for a count out and trying to go for
Any
a count
means
out.
necessary.
This was a phenomenal match, which led to TJ Perkins getting the surprise win over Kota Ibushi and advancing to the finals, where we are going to in a few moments talk about Grand Metalik versus TJ Perkins.
How did you guys like those medals for the final?
I love them.
That was really interesting.
I think the ribbons were a little too long.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. That's what
It's
it
like,
seemed like.
ooh,
Yeah.
it's a belly button medal.
But I liked the idea of that's what gets you into the finals.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Very-
it reminded me very Dragon
Very
Gate
gift
kind
of the gods.
Right, gift
I
of
got the
gods.
key.
Open the yeah,
But
exactly.
but now, do you think this opens up for next year? Somebody getting taken out in the back and showing up with the medal and saying,
I don't
got it.
I don't know if WWE would quite go that. I don't know if they would go that Lucha Underground with it.
Yeah.
No.
Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
Because
Maybe that
definitely probably
ruins
not.
the whole premise of your tournament.
Right.
Like,
Right.
why do I have all those matches? I could just
now one
lock this
thing-
guy in his car and
Right. One thing I did want to touch on that it got me so excited and then immediately got me disappointed was the fact that after these matches, we're getting these sort of UFC style post-fight interviews with the guys. Grand Metalik's in there. He's got an interpreter. That's awesome.
I loved that she asked the question. The interpreter, what's her name, Charlie?
I don't recall.
She translated the question to him, and then he answered, and she was waiting to translate it back. But the other interviewer was like, "Nope, thanks."
It was like,
exactly. That's
thank
what
you,
she was
good
like.
luck. It's like,
That's what I mean, and I was wondering
Which Kathy am I?
if that was a flub on the part of the interviewer, or if that was just like
I think they were like
wrap
short
him
on
time.
yeah.
Wrap time.
well, because I think to me the way I justified it, and I didn't necessarily agree with it, but the way I justified it in my head is that if you were to have her translate it, you would essentially be asking her to cut the promo.
Sure.
Yes.
For him.
Yeah,
And
no,
so-
I think it ended up working like really well. Like,
Yeah.
but it was very clear that she was there. Like, she was trying to translate his answer, but then
sure,
like, no,
which would have made perfect sense.
there was enough in Grand Metalik's promo.
Yeah, no, it's great. That's what I'm
pull,
saying. Like,
oh, we got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his promo was awesome, and that's how they should do it from now on. Like, translate the question to the person, let the person cut the promo, and then like figure it out. Like,
Right.
You know, it's all about emotion, and it's not about what they say, but how they say it.
Sure.
Though I did like TJ Perkins saying before enlightenment, chop wood, gather water. After enlightenment, chop wood, gather water.
Right.
Now that I was get to this match and I have one more match to go on, and it's like, oh, I like him. I like
Yeah.
him a lot.
Yeah.
I like to chop water when I come in a pool. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, that's where everybody would do their first wrestling moves. Is I'm a vertical, you into this,
Exactly.
and he would reverse it, and you would go on the cement. Not speaking from
Jeez.
experience, but.
This explains a lot.
So next we had a tag match to sort of show off Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano's next look into what they're doing at NXT. So they faced Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar.
Boy, the Full Sail is just wild for Johnny Gargano. Huh?
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. And
Oh,
it's,
the Screamer showed up.
they officially are known. I don't know how officially it was.
DIY?
But their DIY even got the little graphic and everything. And we were before we get into the match, because obviously there's a ton to talk about. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the tactile neck, Noam Dar tactile neck, because that was on point.
Beautiful. He's a beautiful
Swag
man.
boys.
And it was
tag team name.
it was such a great kind of combination of people. And in fact, as Austin Heiberg mentioned on Uprocks in his coverage, Gargano and Ciampa were originally just kind of two guys thrown together also.
Yeah.
So even though Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar seem a little bit kind of slapdash, they worked so well
really
together.
well.
They did. And their promo before the match made me go, okay, I would. Especially everybody was so into Alexander as this like underdog, and he's like, whatever, we got this. And like, oh, we're gonna see. Oh, all right, let's get a little bit more of this. Where he's like, yeah, I am the greatest. Everybody already acknowledged me, so I'm gonna keep being the greatest thing in the cruiserweight division.
Right.
He's just on another level right now. He's just doing such good work. It's amazing.
He's so hot right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did y'all think of this match?
I loved it. It was kind of, it seemed like it was faster paced than really any of the tournament matches because it's, you know, it was their showcase. It was DIY's showcase to show that they could get back into the running with the revival. It was Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander's chance. I mean, I guess kind of one or the other. You know, Noam Dar had a chance to really prove himself, and Cedric Alexander had a chance to prove that it wasn't just hype.
Yeah.
You know, I can, like you said, I can consistently be this good.
Yeah.
As opposed to
And,
consistently be a loser.
Right.
Well, no, because he won the bonus match that was on the WWE website. Again, go check that out if you haven't yet.
Yeah. And so, yeah, just the pace of this, all of kind of the shotgun strikes that we saw one after the other, amazing stuff.
Heavy and loud.
Oh
and
my God.
disgusting.
Just like me.
What did we call the the move where Ciampa gets his head stuck in the
Turkey in the straw.
the turkey in the
Turkey in
straw.
the straw.
When Ciampa was stuck in the turkey in the straw.
Yeah.
Just the way the drop kick from Cedric Alexander went all the way through. Like, that was kind of one of the biggest reactions that I had of the whole tournament, really.
Yeah.
It just really went all the way through. Just devastating turkey in the straw.
Which you don't hear too often anymore.
No, really.
No metal bands playing Turkey in the Straw, but they will now. Dude, that's Cedric's new music is just a metal CFO doing a
Well,
metal
they've
version
already
of Turkey
got
in the
the
Straw.
death metal mariachi for Grand
For
Metalik.
Grand Metalik.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
God, I want that to be downloaded. Now that they've released Naomi's music, which is my current fire, I would really like them to release the Grand Metalik
Do you like
music.
Naomi's new
The new one?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not crazy
all
about
about it. Get out, you're done.
I
Sorry,
love
bye.
her old music so much.
It's the same. It's
the
it's
same
still. I'm
music.
amazing. It's just for. It just adds a drop.
but I don't like that part. That part's what gets
Get
me.
out of here, fun dad. Bill, what did
Shut
you
your damn mouth.
what did you think about the tag match?
Works on contingency? No, Amdar. No, it was good. It was great. Like everything that Ty said, I agree with. It was awesome.
Do you want to see more of Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar?
Yeah, of course.
As a tag team.
They're a great tag team, and I think they have a really good dynamic together. That pre-match promo was really fantastic, and I just like these swag boys, and they look real pretty, and they're just in there being oily and doing moves.
Oily Swag Boys.
You know, that's fine.
We so if they come out as the Swag Boys, you'll know where it came from. The Cruiserweight Classic Bracket Breakdown exclusively on AfterBuzz TV. We know you're watching. So why don't we move on to the final match of the Cruiserweight Classic: TJ Perkins versus Grand Metalik for the newly announced.
You made a good graphic.
Yeah, damn right I did.
Nice.
For the newly announced, the first ever that people keep saying, Cruiserweight Championship. It's a beautiful belt.
I like it. Some people were complaining about it, but I like it.
I dig the belt a lot. What I'm not crazy about the splitting of the lineage. It was the exact same problem that I had with the women's title.
yeah.
It's I didn't really see.
I feel like eventually they'll merge those lineages.
Right. Yeah, I didn't really see any reason to discontinue that lineage and to separate TJ Perkins from guys that he idolized like Eddie Guerrero and Hornswoggle.
There's plenty to idolize about Hornswoggle.
Hermina Whippleman or
No, that was the women's champion.
right, sorry. That's why they split it.
But I agree. The likes of the original Cruiserweight Championship, I totally agree. But I like how the style of the belt matches this new era with the replaceable plates. So we're gonna see some sweet designs on there.
And I may be wrong. Eddie Guerrero, I don't know if he
In
was
WCW?
ever Cruiserweight.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he was a cruiserweight champ in WCW.
Was he? Okay. I know Chavo was.
But we had Triple H announce the belt, and you saw once the bag came up, the crowd was fire.
Absolutely.
I know
Drake handing him the velvet bag.
you guys listen to Drake? It's dumb. But
Controller.
do you think Morrow almost saying Cruiserweight Championship belt throughout the night sort of ruined the anticipation for the belt?
Right.
Because the Cruiserweight Classic Trophy. It's a little bit where it's like, shut up. Just stop, Morrow. Shut up. Right. Yeah, especially going back and watching the show again, I was like, he almost said it like 4 times.
But I mean, I don't have a problem with the Universal Championship design, and I think and I love the 2 new SmackDown belts, and I think it's cool if the strap stays purple, you have this nice homage, this ode to this amazing Cruiserweight Classic that was the purple brand, basically.
But it's also a mixture doing color math of red and blue.
But I just like that, CWC was so heavily branded purple, and the ring apron was purple, and the mat was purple, and the ropes were purplish. But if this is the belt going forward, it's always gonna have that this is where it started.
The legacy of this may be a brand new belt, quote unquote brand new belt, but 32 people from all over the world gave up a lot to try to win this championship. I totally agree. And hopefully, if the rumors are true that if the Cruiserweight division works on Raw, maybe that can be the Cruiserweight Championship, since it's purple, since it's a mixture of both red and blue, can be one of the things that they share.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool if when they split the belts, or when they make a new championship for a second show, if they make it out of a shard of the other belt, so that it's just like Thor hits it with a hammer or something like that.
No, so like
a Horcrux.
The opposite of the Hardcore Championship. You take one of them out and put it as in a little
it's like
shadow
how you make
box.
sourdough bread.
Yeah, it's like the mother loaf.
Yeah.
The mother belt.
The mother loaf. This certainly was the mother loaf.
I clearly
Bill.
don't know enough about.
That's a match you can
about
bet
making.
Actually, yesterday on NXT, since you missed it, I did the transition to me from me.
I appreciate that.
It was pretty great. And that's a match you can bet on. Mark, thanks, Mark. It's pretty great. But having Triple H come out and having the trophy in the entryway the entire time just added to the majesty of everything.
Did anyone else have a short little sense of amusement when these 2 cruiserweights are getting ready to go at it and then Triple H is theming it?
Oh yeah,
Everyone got
just like
PTSD chills.
exactly.
Like, oh no,
no.
Comes
reach
out
for everyone.
Comes out with a shovel.
If only it had been Braun Strowman's theme.
Or Reigns.
Right, exactly.
Dude, what the hell? Or did
Shut
anybody
down the
see?
Cruiserweight Classic. It's time for the big dog.
Imagine the reaction of Full Sail.
Well,
Full Sail just dies.
did anybody see Jack Gallagher's sweet Sasha Banks cosplay?
What's the heck? Oh,
The-
okay,
the-
yeah.
the-
What was
the
great
gap
was
with
they
the lower
showed
thirds.
Sasha and it said Jack Gallagher, but it also said Rich Swann under that.
Well, no, because
layered him.
that was
Yeah.
the problem is they brought them all up at once.
All right, ooh,
Instead of
whoops.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's whatever. Everybody knows who these people
I
are.
know everyone's like dressed nice in a suit, and like Rich Swann's just got like a nice like Abercrombie shirt on.
Bailey's in like a warm up.
Yeah.
Why not? So let's talk about this
Like,
match,
I already
gentlemen.
been paid.
I don't come here anymore. I don't even go to this school. So
I
let's.
didn't even get into school
So
anymore.
TJ Perkins, Grand Metalik, what a final match in this tournament.
Very good.
I will say, I just because of everything that it meant, everything that it stood for, this is my favorite match of the entire tournament.
Oh, very
Not
well.
just because it's the final match, but because of the story that we got with TJ overcoming all of the odds and Metalik bringing that lineage in, still coming in as the underdog. It was a solid match.
And how wild is it that in a tournament with like Ciampa, Gargano, Ibushi, Tozawa, the person that tears a dude up is Metalik.
Oh my god.
Just ruined his chest. and neck.
Unbelievable.
The discoloration of his shoulder, I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I was
just-
like, did he snap something? Like,
so many ridiculous moments in this. I've got to say the hurtling over the ropes into
the
the
inside
Rana,
outside
Yeah, that
Hurricanrana.
was some-
It's
Oh my
something
God.
I would have never even thought was possible.
So crazy.
Like if I had seen it in a game, I would have just laughed because you can never do that.
That's dumb.
That's going to be my signature move leading up to my finishing
Exactly.
move.
Hold on.
That's a creative finisher.
It's
Right.
a shooting star package pile driver. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, it's no big deal.
God, that was SmackDown 2006.
But just the insane the complementary styles. I think TJ came from the same wrestling school that I did, and it was very lucha libre influenced, very heavily based. So it makes perfect sense that he would have such good chemistry with someone the likes of Grand Metalik.
I totally agree. I saw you and him wrestle at the same show at the Fit Pit way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
It was a profile match where they brought TJ in to wrestle somebody in a mask who I totally forget. But you were in there as your tag team, which I don't know.
Man.
And that's me. Then when I met you here, I was like, if he was oiled up like a lot and had a really long hair, it's that guy that I saw wrestle.
It was, long story short, I was in a tag team that was roughly based on the Patrick Swayze Chris Farley skit from SNL.
so good.
And
He was Swayze.
it was the Fit Pit, which is also hilarious for a multitude of reasons.
Yes.
But it was at the Fit Pit, so we were called the Pittendales, and we would come out, bow tie, cuffs. My partner, Biggie Biggs, would just use
All of the oil.
insane, exorbitant amounts of oil. And the ring at the
Did
time...
he have like the smallest possible trunks too?
No,
we wore pants.
Just the pants.
Yeah,
we
pant
were on
tights.
brand. But the canvas was one of those vinyl canvases.
no.
So anyone that wrestled after us,
just a slip
it
and
was
slide.
basically just a slip and
Terrible.
slide.
And especially he would empty a whole bottle and then pull out another bottle and be like, "Woo!" and
my
then
God.
the guys in the back, like looking out of the curtain, are like, "This is gonna suck."
Does that vinyl canvas thing just happen because someone doesn't want to pay for a real canvas?
I think it's more of an aesthetic thing, really. Like it looks, it's got that kind of shiny, almost boxing mat sort of finish to it.
Never looks good.
No, I agree.
So going from that and seeing TJ in this environment
Sure.
to this stage brought it to a different level. And coming up with him, how did it feel seeing him on this stage in this match?
It's unbelievable seeing someone, like I said, that's been doing it for so long.
18 years, they said.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still like 32.
He started at 13 and he's already been doing it for almost 20 years. So it's seeing stuff like that and seeing his story and seeing where he came from. It makes everything that happened after the match mean that much more.
I mean, we talked about the inside outside Rana. What were some of your favorite parts of the match too, Bill?
I mean, I just like anytime Metalik dives. But I really liked, the story leading up to like Metalik hitting the Metalik driver and his knee giving out because of all the damage that had been done to it, so he couldn't pin him right away. And so that keeps the that keeps his finisher bulletproof. Of like, oh, if he had just been able to pin him right away, or if he had been able to put a little bit more force behind it,
As opposed to a 6 or a 7 count.
Right,
Yeah.
and or if he had been able to hit that avalanche Metal League driver,
Oh, God.
the reversal into the knee bar was it was awesome.
So, like, it was that everybody had that moment of, oh crap, they fell. Oh, it was on purpose. Oh God, he's going.
Right.
As you mentioned with the story told,
it's like
at
the opposite of the Ascension's double team move from SmackDown.
The story told when TJ Perkins got the victory, and all of the cavalcades that he deserved, the
Accolades?
the accolades, excuse me. But he got the belt. Triple H put it on him, and he got words with the man, and getting a chance to celebrate.
It's the dream of every wrestler to have Triple H dress you.
You're gonna put a nice
The
little
ultimate
belt.
swag boy.
And afterwards, I love the picture of him wearing the medal, the belt, and
having a
trophy.
Like, this is all I get to take all this home. I get to check all this in luggage.
Where's Rod? Damn it! I need to pay extra. I'm gonna have a super heavy bag.
I really hope Full Sail's like gonna pay to like FedEx. They're probably gonna keep the trophy at the performance.
Right.
Center.
That's what the medal's for.
The medal.
Or maybe he'll get a second medal that says winner.
I was gonna say because the medal just says finalist.
Well, isn't that the belt?
I mean,
I guess that's true.
temporarily, but they give him like a mini one to put on his desk at home.
I mean,
like,
I feel like most people, like from what I've seen, most people who win a title in WWE like have the option to like get a copy.
That's what it seems like.
yeah, sure, but I
It's
mean,
like anytime you see Jericho interviewed, he has like a whole
a case full of
or
belts.
how on Up Up Down Down, the Miz lost his Intercontinental Championship at home in a video game, so he doesn't have it right now. He lost it in Madden. I mean, in the sense of he's the very first winner of the Cruiserweight Classic. I hope that he gets.
He's gonna get something.
Like if he gets like a square of the ring and like a picture of him,
yeah, he will.
like, something like that.
He's gonna get the stuff. Well, like remember when they did the NXT fan or end of year awards and they gave him all a little like plaque with the bell on it?
Yeah. That
sure he's
that
gonna
could
get
be something cool like that. So we have the first Cruiserweight Classic in the books. Let's
Right
look,
in the books.
let's look back at the tournament that was. Now at the end, we kind of talked about it, but I want to sort of cement it. Favorite match.
Can I swear to God, like can we like just real low play like Leave the Memories Alone behind this montage?
I don't know if we can. I don't want to get taken down.
Okay.
But we've been saying it kind of throughout the show. But what was your favorite match from the tournament?
Honestly, I mean, Ibushi versus TJP definitely comes to mind. That's probably number one. Honestly, a close number two is Noam Dar versus Zack Sabre Jr. Still,
Really?
like I absolutely was crazy about that match. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say probably Alexander versus Ibushi and Gargano versus Ciampa, both really awesome. There are some matches that I like think really fondly of, like the first Gallagher match, and
sure.
just like there's so many guys that I was just like, oh, why don't we see more of that guy, like Tyson Dukes,
And
just everything that Kendrick did.
I love Kendrick and Nice. Like
Kendrick
I think,
and
Mendoza.
Mendoza, where he just busted up the dude's braces.
That was definitely one of the sleepers of the
can
first
relate.
round for sure. Oh yeah.
It's an inside joke. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's between swag boys.
Oh, I'm not a swag boy.
No.
Said no one
between
ever.
the swag boys on this side of the table.
Okay, that's
we'll
better.
loop you in later.
Swag Boys B versus Swag Boys A.
Exactly.
Me and my crew on this side.
We're like the Stevie Ray and the Horace Hogan of Swag Boys.
Hell yeah, I'm about it. I would have to say Gallagher and Tozawa is definitely up there because it was both comedy and tragedy because Gallagher lost. But yeah, that was fun. It was physical, and we're gonna get to see more of them on Monday nights. But just as a total package, TJ Perkins, Grand Metalik, and also Ibushi, Alexander, will always be like the golden match. The golden match! And who do you think was the MVP of the entire tournament, if not TJ Perkins?
I think Jack Gallagher.
Even with 2 rounds of representation?
Yeah. I think he made such an impact in those 2 matches and gained such a fan base that he might have made the most impact in the shortest amount of
I
time.
think the three standouts are Gallagher, Alexander, and Metalik. Because nobody knew Metalik
Yeah.
No US fans.
Right, exactly.
Knew Metal League at all, and it just like seemed like generic luchador in the tournament.
I love his mask, his
it's
look,
amazing.
everything when he came out
it's
with
all
the whole crown on the back.
wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. King of the ropes. I'd say Metalik. I'd say Alexander. I'd say Rich Swann. Because he while he's been in NXT a few times, this was where he really got to show himself. And we got the new music, and everybody's into the new music. He still does the all night long.
I'm so excited to watch Rich Swann on Raw.
So, oh god,
Yeah.
We get cruiserweights on Monday.
it's
This
so-
is crazy. And just because I like this question, out of the cruiserweight roster on Raw, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Rich Swann, Noam Dar, Brian Kendrick, T.J. Perkins, Grand Metalik, Jack Gallagher, and Akira Tozawa. If not T.J. Perkins, who has the most momentum moving into Raw?
Metalik or Kendrick, just because Kendrick's a person people know. I would expect Kendrick to be the first person to challenge for the title,
You think so?
probably.
Or beat him up in the back as he's entering.
well, yeah, the first person to
true.
go after the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe Cedric Alexander. I think there might be such a buzz about him that the first time he shows people what he can do on Monday nights, it's done. It's over.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, there's a few guys on here that like could potentially have like Enzo and Cass level groundswell behind them.
Oh, sure.
As a result of the CWC.
I think people once people see Gallagher and see Akira Tozawa who aren't familiar with them, so the regular WWE audience, I think they're going to get a whole bunch of push behind him from the crowd. But going into Monday, I'm going to say Grand Metalik as well, because in his match with Sabre, people were starting to change. You know, that crowd was, I mean, there's the big British flag, everybody was wearing the ZSJ shirts, but once they got to see, this is Grand Metalik,
Right.
and especially in the quarterfinals, this is Grand Metalik. I love him now. I think, and coming out of the finals, I think he's got the most going for him.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing time. I absolutely love getting a chance to talk about wrestling with anybody, let alone two of my favorite people at AfterBuzz. Love you both. We're a whole bunch of silly swag boys.
Let's get into one really quick rumor thing with a quick question,
Please.
if we may.
Go ahead.
There is a report out that says that because of the success of the CWC, WWE is considering a women's tournament that may happen as early as the beginning of 2017.
Interesting.
So, if that is true, and they are going to collect women from all over the world, who are either one or two women that you would like to see in this tournament?
I'm prepared for this question.
Candice LeRae for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to see her interact with anyone on the roster, but especially someone like an Asuka.
You know what? If we have, we're gonna get people from NXT in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this because she is from here, but Daria Baronato. I cannot wait for people to see what she can do, and we only got a glimpse of it in that 6-woman tag match a couple weeks ago. So I have to say Daria.
Daria would be awesome. Shayna Baszler would be amazing. Candice, of course,
Yes, Candice,
always going
100%.
to cape for Candice.
Sure.
And Delilah Doom, I think would be really
Delilah
good.
Doom.
Jessica
I'm such
James
a
also.
huge fan of Delilah Doom's. Also, Hudson Envy as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
I'm not familiar with her.
With her stuff, she's a local. She's from SoCal, but she's done stuff in Japan before.
Delilah
and
Doom's
she's-
going to be wrestling locally on October 8th.
get the hell out of
You want
here.
to go?
Yes,
do it.
absolutely.
All right.
Making memories, making friends, making plans, making bacon pancakes. Thank you for joining us
Take the bacon and I put it in a pancake.
in New York. Sorry. So, gentlemen, unfortunately, this is where we leave for the Cruiserweight Classic.
We'll see ya in 5 years.
Well, if
They're not going to do this every year now that they have the championship of the Cruiserweights on Raw.
you never know.
Right.
What if they make it about the trophy and the Cruiserweight champion has to defend it throughout the tournament?
What if they do like
God.
women in 2017 and then 2018 is like minis?
Minis. And then,
Why not?
And then Exoticos.
Yeah, Exoticos.
Dude, an Exotico tournament through WWE? Oh, crazy.
Right.
And then in 2020, the year WWE bought New Japan.
and then Cronenberg's.
Yeah. It's always
The
the
Cronenberg Classic.
Dude, that would be amazing. So much body horror.
So
I'm rooting for the guy who turned his rib cage into a mouth.
So we're gonna we'll get the team back together, and if the rumored women's tournament does happen, we'll get the team back together and we'll do another bracket breakdown for that tournament. But until then, I'm so jealous that you get the cruiserweights every Monday on Raw on the AfterBuzz TV after show for Monday Night Raw exclusively on AfterBuzz TV at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But until then, where can the folks find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on the PlayStation Network. Come play Mortal Kombat with me. I'm at Ty Matthews PMA, pretty much wherever I can take it. It tends to not be taken. You can also find me on the Lucha Underground After Show. Literally immediately after this, in a matter of minutes, I will be there. Bill Hanstock will be there. Mark Donica will be on the ones and twos.
I will be wanting and twoing.
We'll all be right there. So it'll be like we never left. Also, make sure to watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood every Saturday night, 4 p.m. KVOC locally, U2 America nationally. You can also check it out on Patreon, Tough TV, and the Fight TV app.
Yeah.
Bill Hanstock.
I'm Bill Hanstock. I'm on Twitter at SendMotel. You can check out all my writing at uprocks.com/sports. uprocks.com/pro-wrestling with spandex.com. You can watch my movies on Netflix. Check me out on imdb.com. I'm part of the NXT team.
Yeah, you are.
NXT After Show every Wednesday here on AfterBuzz immediately following NXT. You can buy our shirts on nxtteam.spreadshirt.com.
I love you, Bill. And you can find me on Twitter at MarkBDonica. We've got a whole bunch of wrestling stuff happening at the network, so make sure, if you haven't checked into X-Pac 12360, tune in. We've had amazing guests so far. We've had Scott Hall, Billy Gunn, and PJ Polarco, also known as Just Incredible, and some great guests coming up down the pipeline. I just started working with that show, so please join us. We got Christy Olsen, we got Jimbo Slice, and we've got, of course, Sean X-Pac Waltman. So join us every week, every Wednesday for that show, and then stay tuned for the NXT After Show. So follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Make sure to leave us reviews, comments down below. We want to hear all of your picks for the women's tournament, as well as what you thought of the tournament. So until next time, for all of these swag boys here at the table, we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Mamma mia!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.